A cool breeze blows across my cheek. Sit down there, I do as he says, settling himself on the outdoor air conditioning unit. The man lowers his gun, but keeps it in hand. We'll wait here for a bit. For how long? He lets out a rueful chuckle. Guess we'll have to wait and see. And he said there's no point in trying to fight him. For now I have to hope he's telling the truth. Whatever's coming will help me get my memories back. If I don't know my past, how can I know what to do about this Canaan stuff or anything else? I stare up at the sky as I wait for whatever this assassin is waiting for. The silence between us is suffocating. Finally, I can't take it any longer. Hey, so I think this is yours. I wrote a notebook I picked up earlier. The man's surprise isn't plain in his face. Where'd you get that? I saw the picture inside. He snatches the book out from my hand. And he flips through it, looking sad. I'm afraid that another agonizing silence is about to descend when he speaks at last. This is a picture of me and my childhood friends. His voice is low and quiet. We were inseparable back when we were kids. The boy here, he liked to fiddle with machines, always doing things like taking apart radios and whatnot and putting them back together. He was also a bookworm too, so I got picked on a lot. And that was always there to save him from the bullies. All of a sudden, the guy is in a shivering mood, I guess. I can feel his aura of murderous rage soaring to a bit. The girl here was the same age as us, but she felt more like a big sister. Whatever stupid thing my other friend and I got up to, she was always willing to laugh it off. Bro. What was your name? I asked, curious to know more. Kotone. We did it when we were in high school. Oh wow, well I guess the impression from that picture was the other boy must have liked the technology you read. Gunman's eyes widen. You're very astute. Call out that woman's intuition, I say proudly. Then I asked the others to follow up. So what had happened to you two? I dumped her. The man carefully slips the notebook into the pocket inside his jacket. How come? I ask. I felt it was for the best. He lets out a little chuckle and stands up and brushes the dust off his pants. He looks strangely lonely. Maria, my wife left me. Oh my god, really? Fuck this game. You can't skip forward, you get 5 lines of dialogue and then you get the keep out, bro. Tschüss. Why?
Lonely. I am so lonely.
This has something to do with Nurukawa.
Of my own.
Yeah, oh but it actually does, bro. It has something to do with Nurukawa. Look, watch this. It's a Nurukawa moment. Nurukawa's soundtrack is just better than everything else.
Like his storyline is just aura.
His entire storyline is just the best part of this game, to be honest.
It straight up has nothing to do with anybody else's story. Like everybody else is like connected to the main plot, and like Nurukawa is just there.
Side adventures, bro. This taxi stopped outside of Heaven Publishing. Nurukawa wasn't even built on the seat and next to the cab. Bro was just throwing away money, bro. He was stumbling his way toward the building when someone called out to him. Mr. Nurukawa. Hello, Sawa. For a moment, Nurukawa didn't recognize the man now idling down at the curb. He took a closer look, he realized it was Kenji Osawa. Hello. I
think I'm supposed to read the Nurukawa.
I don't care.
I think about. Okay.
Oh, Mr. Osawa. Sorry, but I haven't been able to look into that thing you asked about yet. I see. That's quite. Wait, whatever. I see. I'm quite sorry. Osawa looked pale and haggard. Nurukawa's reporter sensed tingling. This guy is the key to something. He called, he'd heard the detective and his buddy talking about back at the scene of the explosion. Roughly 8 hours ago, they infected Maria with Osawa with a UA virus. If you don't administer Kenji Osawa's antiviral before she develops symptoms. You're caught up in something big, aren't you? How? How do you know about that? Because the reporter said simply. No, Nurukawa. Oh, I'm him knowing Nurukawa. Osawa rolled his eyes. That'll make this simpler, I guess. I get in. I'll tell you everything. Nurukawa hesitated. This might be his big chance on a beyond incredible scoop. And it felt like it was too late to matter. So, leading to a major story, setting out an issue of 4-star general gossip. And with the Kevin publishing on the road to his relevancy, that was the least he could do in Toyama's memory. You don't drop a story until you have what you need. Maybe it was too late for the save Toyama. But when Nurukawa got in the car. Sawa's tale was beyond anything Minorukawa had imagined. So they send you threatening emails, devise a plan to kidnap your daughter in order to get them travel, and now it's failed you that turn it about terrorism. Finally, Minorukawa was able to flesh out the story behind the conversation he'd overheard earlier. And as he did, he could feel his growing sense of his situation. So basically, they're now effectively holding up all the people in Shibuya hostage and demanding the antivirus, is that it? Before Osawa could answer the unhumanity occurred to Minorukawa. Hold on, why didn't they just start by holding the whole city hostage? Why did they need to go through all the trouble of kidnapping your daughter? No, Osawa said, shaking his head. Perhaps they wanted the ransom money. For a mere 50 million yen? I can't imagine international terrorists could be for that much. You can't know how terrorists think, Osawa said. Just assume, though. Could there be some other reason they abducted your daughter? Osawa didn't reply. He was probably too preoccupied with finding a way to save his daughter than to think about anything else. So, something about the course of events didn't quite add up to Minorukawa. But whatever the case, if the criminals were after this antiviral, then sticking with Sawa ought to bring him closer to the truth. Is the rest of Minorukawa's story just Minorukawa and Sawa together? That's why his story is gone, because they never lived with each other, bro. Osawa finally found his husband.
Nah.
More Osawa yaoi. It's true. Minorukawa was still mulling that over when they arrived at the laboratory. The two men hopped out the car and were immediately rushed by a pair of security guards who subdued them in a matter of moments. Hey, Minorukawa protested. What the hell is this? Hand me, Sawa yelled. I'm Kenji Osawa. This is my lab. This is my lab. But evidently that didn't matter to the guards. Hello, Osawa. Another man emerged from the building. He and Osawa exchanged a few brief words. Judging from the tone of the conversation, this was someone who'd outranked Osawa at the company. Take him away. As the newcomer looked down, the guards dragged Osawa into the building. Hey, Minorukawa shouted at the man as he began to walk away. Don't you know what's going to happen, Shibuya? Don't you care? If you stand by and let the people of this city die, your closure pharmaceutical is going to be held responsible. The man stopped in his tracks. If that happens, you'll be ruined personally too, Minorukawa added. You know I'm right. That will be up for the police to decide. You must regret this. Don't be a fool. Minorukawa's jaw was wavering. His pen would mete out the justice. He might have come close to forgetting what he'd once stood for, but now the old fire was back. I see. It seems this isn't something to leave unchecked. The man gestured with his jaw. Take him as well. More security guards surrounded Minorukawa. Hey, stop it, let me go. Though he struggled fiercely, there was no escape. Once he was dragged through those laboratory doors, Minorukawa never wrote another article again. That's crazy, that's a bad ending. Just... Bro said, okay, bro, is that actually it? Okay, I need to go to Osawa. Oh my god, bad ending central, bro. It's like, there's no build up to it, so there's no way you can avoid it, it just kind of happens, bro. One line,
Yeah.
okay, it's over for Minorukawa. Okay, on to Osawa then.
Honestly, you did a really, really good job at dodging like bad endings like up to this point, but like the last like few time slots they get really bullshit.
That's some like goofy ass shit, bro.
I don't want to know how people feel. All I want to know is what viruses feel. I prefer viruses because they make no move to encroach on me from the other side of my microscope. They leave me free to let my thoughts wander as I wish. Okay, bro. And while it may be true to say I understand viruses, I've never been able to understand my fellow humans.
Though your daughter's dying.
I don't know them. I don't know a single fundamental thing about them. With Tanaka dead, trying to use the backup passwords for the fingerprint scanner had become a hopeless endeavor. The only remaining means of gaining entry to the storage area was to issue an emergency unlock to the electronic lock manufacturer. And in order to do that, they needed approval from the 6 members of the board of directors. Returned to his study, Osawa called Makino's personal cell phone. What is it? Makino said gruffly as soon as he picked up. So informed him of the situation, including Tanaka's death, and the fact that Maria was infected. The news left Makino at a loss for words. Please, Osawa begged. You need to hold an emergency board meeting. Makino was silent for a few moments. I'm afraid I can't do that. Why not? Are you just going to sit by and let my daughter die? Osawa raged. And not just her. Maria goes symptomatic. That was still only an if, but Osawa was reluctant to put his fears into words. This vertigo effect that's going on.
Is it fucking with you?
A little bit. No, I'm just like distracted by how many times it's looping.
It's true.
If she goes symptomatic, the UA virus will sweep through all of Tokyo. I realized that, Minakawa replied.
Makino. Bro, Midorikawa is everywhere. Suddenly, Midorikawa shows up behind the chair.
Nah, don't weaponize my dyslexia, bro. Makino replied, but when board members is overseas on business, holding a meeting is impossible. Despite the gravity of the situation, he sounded astoundingly nonchalant. Osawa couldn't back down now. There must be some other option, like a web conference or something. That doesn't help us if we can't get in touch with him, Makino huffed. He went missing a few days ago, in the middle of his business trip.
Okay, so he's not part of the fucking board anymore. Hold the board meeting, bro.
Osawa was almost too appalled to be angry. That's the most ridiculous lie I've ever heard. Would you like to speak to my on-site contact, if you don't believe me? This was like arguing with a child. If Makino was deliberately working against him, he'd never know if this disappearance was real or not. In that case, can you please appoint a representative instead? Osawa pleaded. Selecting a representative is not a complicated process. Even if we started right now, it would take until sometime tomorrow afternoon to complete. Tomorrow afternoon. By then, it will be too late for any of this to matter. Sir, can't you see how absurd the things you're saying are? What would you have me do? Makino barked. These are the realities of corporate politics. I understand, sir. You'll do nothing for my daughter. That's what you're saying. That's not what I'm saying, Makino replied. Look, I'll see what I can do to appoint a representative more quickly. He hung up. His tone had suggested that waiting for an appointee wouldn't be a terribly hopeful prospect. I have no more allies, Osawa thought. All I have left now are foes.
If I pick A... If I pick B, Maria dies. Actually, nah. I don't care. Bad thing.
He'd just have to take Makino at his word. Right now, that was his only course of action.
If I do A... He drives to Midorikawa, picks him up without the choice of doing it, and then just fucking... It's over.
Osawa sat down in front of his computer, quietly closed his eyes. If only I could just go to sleep and wake up tomorrow morning and find all of this resolved. All I'm asking for is a miracle. But he knew reality would never be so kind. He could hold his eyes shut as long as he wanted, and it wouldn't make this hopeless situation go away. He felt the anxiety welling up inside him until it seemed like he was going to explode.
Bro.
Needing a distraction from his helplessness, Osawa opened up Ayanet. He knew this was more escapism, but he couldn't just sit and do nothing while waiting for Makino to call back. He posted a new topic with the title Aya Fortune Teller. I tried the Aya Fortune Teller. My results basically said I was a bad person who can't connect to the people around me. And you know what? That's exactly right. I'm only interested in my own little world. That's probably why my wife and my assistant at work got so fed up with me.
It's probably why my wife left me.
Man, imagine like you're at this like forum for like a pop star and like some
Middle-aged
40-year-old
man
dude
is
is like,
trauma dumping.
and also it turns out that guy is like Elon Musk.
It's true. It's true.
It's the same with my $2. What sort of things are they interested in? Do they have a lot of friends? What are their aspirations for the future? I don't know any of those things. Never even occurred to me to find out. I'm such a terrible father.
He said on the fucking forum, bro.
Osawa's fingers ceased their tapping on the keyboard as he thought back to when Marie and Hitomi were younger. Daddy, Daddy! The two girls would follow him around like a pair of puppies. Their father was their everything. That much was clear just by looking at their faces. He felt a ticklish giddiness at having his girls cling to him so. He never felt anything like it in his life, but there were times where he also found it tiresome. I am sick of being the person I am. There's nothing I can do about it. Though, I'm sure it's far too late for me to change. He poured out all his negative emotions into his post. It felt like a stream of consciousness drivel, but he didn't hesitate to write it down all the same. He wanted other people to know what a miserable excuse of a human being he was. At last, when he couldn't think of anything else to add, he posted his bitter confession to the forum. He was staring numbly at the monitor when he heard the furious shout from the next room. You have got to be kidding me! It was Kajiwara, and Osawa had never heard him so angry.
Kajiwara sounded like a British woman.
No. Vine thud. Osawa headed into the living room and found Kajiwara embroiled in a vehement argument with the other. Vehement. I don't know, I've never seen this word before. Argument with the other detectives.
Vehement is like intense.
I don't care what HQ's policy is. I will not just quietly go along with this. Kajiwara had already screamed himself red in the face. You're out of line, snapped one MPD detective. Hold your tongue. I don't care if I'm out of line. You may have talent, I'll give you that, the other detective said. But you're a precinct detective, and this isn't your jurisdiction. It's not your place to question orders from higher up. Wait, Osawa thought. Kajiwara really is a real detective after all. Go on, explain the situation to Mr. Osawa. Kajiwara bit his lip in frustration at the other detective's order. Very well, he said. But before he could say more, Osawa noticed that the police equipment had been all cleared off the table. Hold on, Osawa said. What's going on? Has something happened? Allow me to explain, sir, Kajiwara said. His bitterness showed plainly on his face. We've been recalled, sir. Osawa narrowed his eyes, fighting to keep the confusion from his face. What do you mean by that? He was shaking, terrified to have his suspicions confirmed. I'm truly sorry, sir, for having been unable to help you. Kajiwara gave a deep and solemn bow. But Maria, what's going to happen to Maria? Another unit has been tasked with bringing your daughter into custody, sir. That much at least Osawa could process. You're going to place her under quarantine, aren't you? Kajiwara's lips stiffened, but he nodded. In order to minimize the spread of the virus, so I'm told. No, Osawa cried. You can't do that. If you do, there won't be any way to save her. His head spun.
Another bad ending!
Please, I beg of you. You need to get Maria to me. I might be able to save her. When Kajiwara didn't respond, he turned to the other detectives. Please, don't. You can't place Maria under quarantine. But the detective's only answer was to avert their eyes. Why are you all ignoring me? Please, you have to listen. If you bring her to me, I can figure something out. I know I can. He plunked himself down on the floor, yelling and flailing his arms like a child throwing a tantrum.
Bad endings ensure. Oh mein Gott.
The detectives exchanged sullen looks with
I
one
don't
another
care.
and then walked off.
Okay.
Please, don't stand by me and let my daughter die.
Bad ending. How?
It's not.
How? Bro,
Not
I
that.
thought Kanna was a key to it.
Only Kajiwara remained with him in the living room. I'm sorry, sir. This was beyond my ability to stop. He gave another apologetic bow. Asao felt suddenly deflated. No, you've done a fine job, Detective Kajiwara. It's me who should be sorry. I've made such a disgraceful display of myself. That's not true, sir. In fact, I'm deeply moved. I can tell how much Maria must mean to you. Asao shook his head. If I'd really been thinking about Maria, I would have made an effort to work with you detectives more. It was all just self-absorbed shouting. A moment of emotional selfishness. And yet, as a result, you convinced me to stay here with you. Gerard proceeded to pull out his phone and put in a request with the task force headquarters to remain at the Osawa residence. Got into a heated spat with his commanding officer, but ultimately received permission to stay on as the police liaison.
Liaison.
Okay, with Osawa. Well, the detective said when he'd hung up, you see, there are some people who are legitimately moved by a parental display of emotion. Even if I'm not certain that I can do very much in staying here with you. That's not true, Osawa replied. There's plenty you can help me with. He looked into Kajiwara's face and smiled. For instance,
I can have one whenever I want.
I can have a banana whenever I want. Kajiwara answered. This is the start of a video I've seen on a different website.
Bro.
He then produced a pair of bananas from his pockets.
Then, once he ran out of bananas, he pulled out his own fresh made banana from his other pocket.
From his boxer pocket.
Yowie.
Also peeled his banana and took a hearty bite. The mild sweetness was pleasant and soothing.
Just like
It was
my
flavor.
dick.
It was a flavor that brought back memories of sucking his dick. I often eat banana. I can't.
Bro.
it back.
It was. We're so brain dead at Osawa that it just becomes the funniest storyline.
I often eat bananas when I go to the park with my daughter. I draw a muddled between mouthfuls. I didn't realize you had a daughter, detective. She just started grade school this year. Oh, really? She must be adorable. Well, I don't get to see her as much as I'd like. The only sort of smile crossed Kajira's face. Why is that? Doing this job caused me to neglect my family. Finally, about 2 years ago, my wife hit me with the divorce paperwork.
Osawa, my wife left me. That's half gay sex. Bro. This storyline can't be real.
I wanted to be able to keep our daughter with me, but she took the kids. The law tends to favor the mother when it comes to custody issues. The detective then pulled 2 bars of chocolate from his pocket. It's good to have something sweet when you're exhausted, he said. Osawa took one but said nothing. More recently, my ex-wife has been talking about getting remarried, Kajira continued. And she wants me to stop seeing our daughter. He bit into his own chocolate bar with a soft snap. It's no less than I deserve. But it still hurts. Osawa couldn't help but sympathize. The man was losing his daughter. There was someone he could really talk to. Here was someone Here was someone he could really talk to. He was sure of that much now. Detective, I apologize. I've kept things from you because I was worried that they involved classified corporate information. Oh? Kajira's eyes glimmered with interest. Earlier today, I received some emails. They could be pertinent to the case. Would you mind letting me see them? Osawa shook his head. On the contrary. Back in front of his computer, Osawa saw that IANET was still open. Pretty Honey had responded to his forum post.
Recurring character. I want to read it.
Go on. One moment. Just let me read this. Osawa read the response. I got that same result. You really think it's too late? Don't give up hope. Hang in there. Yippee! It's never too late. Every family has its share of problems. Like you'll never find one that doesn't, I'm sure. When it comes to family, there's no such thing as game over. So don't let it get you down, Julie. Yip, 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 yippee.
Yip, yippee, yippee.
Besides, I did learn one thing from reading your post. In the end, a father's happiness is his daughter's happiness. Ooh. It's his username, Julie.
I guess it is.
Kajira appeared into the monitor. A young girl is posting to a forum for people 40 and older. It's Pretty Honey. She always replies to my thoughts.
Discord moderator Osawa.
The detective furrowed his brow. I see. Is something the matter? No. That last line there just had me curious as well. A young girl writing something like that. Well, that's neither here nor there right now. Let me see those emails, if you would. Osawa opened his email. He pulled up the images of the human testing on the monitor. What is this? Kajura stared at the monitor, as if unable to look away. These are images from unauthorized clinical testing of an antiviral drug I developed, carried out by my company without my knowledge. Images of a... I'm sorry, what was that? The detective frowned at the unfamiliar terminology. In simple terms, the antiviral is a wonder drug to combat the EI virus. Hold on. Maria is infected with the UI virus, isn't that right? Yes, UI is a species of virus discovered in South Africa relatively recently. Roughly 12 hours after infection, patients developed a cough, then a fever, then begin vomiting, and ultimately begin to bleed uh, uncontrollably from all over, resulting in death. The mortality rate is... Osawa was reluctant to say it. Kajura held his breath, waiting. It's nearly 100%. Kajura shuddered. But wait, he said after a moment. If you have this wonder drug, then Maria... Osawa shook his head. Without Tanaka, I have no means of getting it out of the lab. Kajura's frown deepened. I see. It may not be much to go on, but I think we can put together at least one piece of our little mystery here. Pardon me one moment. Kajura inspected the email address of the sender A, then brought up the mail header. You don't see email addresses like this much. It's seemingly from a foreign country, but that may be fake. You can tell that just from the email. The detective flashed a little grin. Take a look here. So if we just do this, then this, his fingers flew over the keyboard, calling up the header details, signaling out the received from field. This set of four numbers at the bottom is the sender's IP address. Think of it as an ordinary hidden location.
Okay.
I mean, he's a detective. He can dox people, it's fine. As he spoke, the detective pulled up a website called IP Station. He copied and pasted the set of four numbers and pressed the enter key. The monitor showed the name of the provider, connection method, and other such details. Osawa couldn't make heads or tails of most of it, but one thing drew his eye. Access point, Shibuya Ward, Tokyo.
Oh my god. It was his boss all along. Who would have guessed it?
Kajura went into the email program's options and checked the server info for Osawa's connection. Deep furrows formed in his forehead. This here is the same provider that you use, Mr. Osawa. What does that mean? What kind of internet connection do you have here at your house? What sort? Well, it's plugged in over there, but Osawa pointed at the router. And does everyone in your family use that same line? Yes, I think so. Kajura opened up a command prompt.
Bro. Thank you.
Bro, type. Bro, type.
How to make a LAN server in Minecraft. Go open up command prompt and type in ipconfig.
Okay, so if the same numbers we saw before pop up here, that's a bad sign. Oh? Also stared at the monitor. Kajura pressed enter and a black window covered in white alphanumerical characters appeared. What the heck? Kajura muttered under his breath. Wait, what's going on? So asked. Explain simply so they can understand. Faking an email address is simple enough, but a typical person won't be able to fake an IP. It's very likely that these emails were sent from another computer inside this house. Asawak had to stifle a gasp. The emails had been sent from his own house at around 11 o'clock that morning.
It's his fucking wife!
Since Asawak hadn't sent them himself, that left only one possible culprit. AI.
Who would have guessed that his bitch wife was behind it all along? Who knows the motherfucker who is also like isn't the board director like the father of I?
Yes, I think so.
Oh
if I
my
remember
god,
correctly.
who would have seen that one coming? I was in on it all along. I am going to bash my head in with a rock.
Suddenly, his phone rang, nearly starting him out of his seat. Startling. Makin's name showed up on the incoming call display. Asawak quickly picked up. Is there an update on the emergency board meeting? He blurted. Makin's voice was quiet and subdued. I tried pulling whatever strings I could, XD, but to no avail. I'm afraid that holding a board meeting today just won't be possible. The phone fell from Osawa's hand. His only possible means of saving Maria was now gone.
Or is it? To be continued? Hell yeah. It is over for Osawa. Osawa story gone. Hopefully. I want less characters.
Oh wait, no,
Show the
no,
stories.
that means there's one more time slot for Osawa.
Bro.
Oh yeah, I forgot. So Maria ends in this time slot, but
And then
Osawa
Osawa
ends in the
ends
next
after.
time slot.
Okay, so the person who's holding this up is Kano. I think. I'll do Kano. His last story was like 5 minutes long, so. Arriving back at Shibuya Precinct, Kano hurried to the interrogation room. With the investigation currently on hold, he knew that taking any official action would be tricky. If he was going to break through this stalemate, he was going to need Teno's help. The abduction, the ransom, the attached case, really, Maria's lease, and then the Naka's death. Maybe Teno would be able to figure out how all these elements were related. But first, Kano needed to check something for himself. Teno would never have let Al-Karawan go free. Kano needed the prisoner to set the record straight. Al-Karawan sat in the precinct interrogation room, looking raised and cocksure. One glance at his face and Kano was reminded of what had happened to Sayama. Fresh anger smoldered at the edge of his mind. There were two detectives already in the room. It seemed he was made privy to the details, one of them told Kano. Sounded like they were following orders, trying to take the catch case around, the other added. Kano sat down across from Al-Karawan. There's something I'd like to ask you, he said. We were just paid to do a job. I don't know anything more than that. His Japanese was imperfect, but he understood the language well enough. Tell me, how did you manage to escape from native Teno? Escape? I didn't. A faint smile came to Al-Karawan's lips. He let me go free. Yeah, faint smile, by the way. Damn, his teeth are so crooked. Liar. They would never do that. Kano slammed the desk with his fist. Didn't have handcuffs on, did I? He took off them off from me. This had to be a lie. It's not like there weren't any other ways to remove a pair of handcuffs. After he took off the handcuffs, Al-Karawan continued. He pointed the gun at me. Cut the crap. Kano grabbed the prisoner by the collar. Al-Karawan went down undisturbed. He kept the gun pointed at me, but he didn't pull the trigger. That's when I ran. I want to take the Tenno went to shoot you because I saw him. Saw him? Saw him do what? Let me tell you something interesting. Nakawa said sardonically. There was that the girl who was carrying the ransom, right? Cannot picture you told me something anxiously beside the statue of Hachiko. But the guy the Tenno was trying to kill there. In a fit of rage, Kano drove his fist into the colleague one's face. His colleagues rushed to interpose themselves. Is the Tenno the fucking gunman? The cane man?
I don't know.
Maybe. Kano, calm down, knocked the floor. Kleiwan gingerly fingered his split lip. After I gave you such a good info too, he grumbled. The Tenno was assigned to protect Kitamusawa, Kano shouted. You can't expect me to believe your rubbish. He lunged around the table, ready to throw another punch, but his fellow detectives held him back. Alcai-1 looked away differently. It's the detective didn't know you should be arresting, not me. That girl's not going to get killed. You need to step in line, pal, Kano bellowed. Kano, his colleagues shouted. You're the one who needs to step in line. Go and cool off a bit. Expelled from the interrogation room, Kano immediately pulled out his cell phone and called Tenno's number. Please pick up. He clutched his phone tight, breathing under his breath. But Tenno didn't answer. Kano sat down in a chair in the hallway in a bit of daze. He found himself holding the present Sama had gotten for his wife. I have to do something. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. Existence gnawed at him like a rabid animal. Hey, Kano. He looked up to see Kuze standing beside him, his suspicions grave. I have an update on Sayama, directors, again. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. It seemed the knife wasn't deep enough to do some organ damage. He's in critical condition. I see. Kano bit his lip hard. His handkerchief, red with Sayama's blood, clung to the wrapping paper of Sayama's present. Kano peeled it away carefully so not to tear the paper beneath. What's that? Asked Kuze. Sayama had me hold on to this for him. It's a present for his wife. Ah, I see. I'm sorry, Director Kuze, for ignoring your orders. Kano's eyes remained fixed on the gift as he spoke. When you got down to it, none of this would have happened if it weren't for me. Some kind of punishment was sure to head his way for acting as he had. He probably wasn't getting all of this one was able to an apology. But Kuze calmly shook his head. What happened to Sayama isn't your fault. Don't blame yourself, he said. As far as this case goes, I've been given quite a runaround myself. There was a rare note of vulnerability in Kuze's voice. The higher-ups have barely let any information trickle my way, but they're still ordering me around non-stop. It's a real pain in the ass. Kuze felt silent from ruminating. The quiet lingered between the two men for several moments before he abruptly spoke again. Alright, I'd like to get your opinion on something. So Mamoru's Nanaka, who we found in the minivan, you know? What you think? Should we maybe release his name to the media? Kuze had tipped into his show's register. He was clearly exhausted. Kana was fundamental question. It was a rare thing for the director to seek an opinion from a mere junior detective. It feels like there was something not too normal about one of Kenji-sawa's subordinates dying, Kuze went on. Kano had the same thoughts. They felt too international to be coincidence. Sorry, intentional. Yeah, sorry. Maybe I have dyslexia as well. So here's the question. Should I get the media involved and try to rush for a resolution, or should I be more cautious? What would you do? About this in the name? Kano asked. That wasn't such a simple thing to answer. There were so many factors to consider. A tired smile came to Kuze's face. Don't think about it so hard. This is just so I have a point of reference. Tell me what your gut says. This is important in some way. God damn it. Okay, Minurikawa, I will do your question first. Taxi stepped outside of him, publishing. The trip had taken 10 minutes on the dot. Thanks. Minurikawa left the 1,000 yen bill in the seat and exited the cab. Sir, detective driver called after him. Minurikawa turned back around. Mizuko was leaning out the window to point at him. It isn't called work because it's fun, sir. They will be over soon enough. Just I'll hang in there a little bit longer. The driver finished with a knowing grin. Naruka worked the ghost with a smile. Maybe his spirits had been different just a tiny little bit. Thank you, he replied. You're a true friend of the working man. He worked half-heartedly, then headed into the building. Go away, Trisha, indeed. Mr. Mino. Jackie threw herself at him as soon as he opened the door to the editing office. Now the explosion was playing on the television. Naruka marched right to the desk and opened up his laptop. Oh my god, wait, I know the answer. I know the answer. If I release the name, he'll know that it wasn't the guy who died instead. That way he'll be have the fucking courage to do his work, you know. Go. Chosen.
That's so insane.
Chosen.
Re-
I figured it
release
out.
the new, release the launch codes.
Well, booted up, he tried to get a handle on this current situation. Where are the folks from the loan company? He asked. They're here, Jackie said. I have them waiting downstairs. Did they know Tiama's dead? I'm sorry. I can't have let it slip. What about Hana? I'm not sure. They haven't heard from her since she called earlier. For a tiny sigh, Hirokawa started typing at his laptop. By some miracle, his 6 pages of the copy were nearly wrapped up. Still, he needed to do whatever it took to see this job through to the end. That would serve as his final tribute to Yama's memory. He loaded his copy into the DTP software in order to set up the layout. Bit by bit, the actual magazine articles began to take shape. Then the editing department door swung open. Hey, snarled the young man who barged in first. He looked over a stack of books. How do you long gonna keep us waiting for? Such a goofy ass look, bro. Honestly, Sagawa must you be so rowdy? A middle-aged man stepped in alongside him. Are you Mr. Hirokawa? He added as his eyes fixed on the journalist. He had out his business card. I'm to meet you. I am Asao Ozu from Takagada Financing. My deepest sympathies about Mr. Zayama, however. I'm afraid that we do need you to give us back the money we loaned. It's based on the tone that threatened his voice was plain. Look, next month's issue for our star, there's no cost per 7 here and that. Can't you please wait for your payments until we have the funds on those sales? Hirokawa asked. That was exactly what Toyama's plan had been after all. We turned down monsters if the magazine's going to be making money we won't manage in a month. You really mean it? Jackie chirped. To clarify, that would be the case if Toyama were still alive. Releasing the next issue is all well and good, but with Toyama gone, so too is the company. That will make full payments of what we owe impossible, I expect. Then what do you want us to do? Hirokawa asked coldly. How about we just get the chase out, young man Sagawa? The culture isn't a snap. Jack recoiled in panic, and Hirokawa held up interposing hand. Knock it off, he said. You're scaring the young lady. A faint smile came to Ozu's face. All we want to know is where Mr. Toyama's daughter is. Yeah, that's right, Sagawa said. That's what the girl is. No way, Jack is quick in progress. Hana's just a little kid, just having responsibility to pay back the Ozu didn't let her finish. We're aware of that.
Teeth as well.
Well, he's troll facing. Nevertheless, we'd still like to know where she is. The law doesn't matter right now. Guys like this had all sorts of ways of weighing up money out of people. It was clear from the looks on their faces that Ozu and Sagawa had some wicked scheme up their sleeves. And of course, you would refer to the Tiama's debts, Minister Hirokawa. You are quite an accomplished reporter after all. Taking these debts, huh? Hirokawa didn't know how much Toyama had borrowed, but only took one look at this guy's telling him so small and sum. How about it, Ozu asked, a wee little scoop of the scoop. I'm sure you'll be able to carry us in full before you die. Hirokawa fiercely returned to stare. Bro, it's one after the other. Give me some more time, bro. Jackie went pale at Hirokawa's response. No, how could you even think about taking that off me? She cried. Sagawa stepped in, drawing her out. No way, we waited long enough. Give us your answer now. Yes or no? What's it gonna be? Now. Let's just calm down, Ozu chided. I think to consider it. That's a step in the right direction. Won't you agree, Mr. Hirokawa? Yeah, sure. I suppose we can at least wait a little while longer. Hirokawa had hoped to put them off for several days at least, but it didn't look like that was going to happen. The 2 men from Takagada Financing plunked themselves down the editing department sofa. Mr. Minno, you're not actually going to take on the debt, are you? Jackie asked quietly. Hirokawa sat at his desk looking over the copy written. It's none of your concern, he said. What I need to know is how's your piece on those street interviews coming? They mean those guys, they said it doesn't matter if the issue comes out or not. Don't be ridiculous. When a professional agrees to take on a job, they see it through to the end. Jackie took his point and scampered to grab the printout of her copy. Hirokawa gave it a quick once over. He saw immediately that the police was lacking in structure. He then read the article a second time, checking the fine details. Several of the off-team sentences jumped out at him. This is no good, rewrite it. He first printout back at Chiaki. Yes, sir. She bowed her head, retreated to another desk. The TV was still on. A news broadcaster's voice suddenly broke through the silence, as well as Hirokawa's concentration. We're live on the scene now, where an explosion in Shibuya has Hirokawa released banklet at the screen. He found his mind drifting to a particular memory of Toyama. Laura looked like it might fall apart at any moment, but Hirokawa didn't care. He pounded on as hard as he could. The Toyama nameplate popped off and fell onto the floor. It was hard to believe this dilapidated apartment was the home of a newspaper editor who had worked his way up to reporter. Hey, Toyama, get your ass out of there. The sound of Fenrir was angry shouting, and other tenants on the floor poked their heads out of the rooms to stare. He paid them no heed, continuing to call out. Eventually, Toyama opened the door, dressed in his sweats and undershirt. Quiet down, you moron, he snapped. Come on in. Oh my god. Incredible shot. I heard you turned the letter of resignation to paper. Minarukawa sat cross-legged on the tatami covered the floor. Tell me why. Toyama quirked a lopsided grin. You wanna know why I quit, huh? Alright, again, close. Minarukawa peered at him dubiously. Huh? Why? I don't want anyone overhearing this. Resigned, Minarukawa leaned forward and turned his right ear towards Toyama. The man's warm breath against his shake was pretty settling. At first he had trouble concentrating on Toyama's story. But when the older man got to the crux of his matter, he found himself listening with rapt attention. By the time Toyama finished, Minarukawa was unable to suppress his shock. Oh my god, your wife left you.
Nah, bro.
Your 70-year-old publishing company? Not so loud, damn it. Toyama shushed him with a finger in his ears as he looked around wearily as if there might be spies in his own apartment. I put a publishing company? Minarukawa said again, more quietly this time.
I'm so glad this song is back.
It's true. What are you doing with your distributed account? All booksellers were required to use a wholesale distributor to circulate their publications. To do business with such a distributor, a publisher needed a specialized distributor account. They don't want to let the company with no track record open a new account with a distributor. I'm sure you must realize that. I know, that's why I brought one. Bro. He's so skinny. I swear I thought he was like bigger. That's why I bought one. You bought one? A ghost account belonging to a publisher that went bankrupt. Distributor accounts could go for tens of millions of yen. There was no way Toyama could afford that on his severance pay alone. He must have taken out a loan in order to make the purchase. But the publishing industry was in a slump nowadays. People just weren't buying books much anymore. Starting up a new publishing company was a beyond risky endeavor. And I've already decided on the name of my company, Minarukawa. Toyama's face was supposedly beaming. Get this, Heaven Publishing. Heaven? That sounds fatalistic. The idea is people who work for me who will feel like they're in paradise. If you're always kvetching about keeping quiet, Toyama was now exclaiming pretty loud to himself. I mean, I can appreciate your willingness to take this risk, but surely your wife must have objections, Minarukawa said. Toyama felt silent. He went and opened up the refrigerator. Minarukawa, my wife left me. Minarukawa took a peek inside. It shows her one full despair, holding little besides beer cans and making snacks. Mrs. left me. I was right. I was right. Minarukawa, my wife left me.
Note to self, call this episode My Wife Left Me.
Those can't few words painted the picture clear enough. Toyama grabbed a can of beer and tossed it around to his guest. But no more sub-stories, he went on. He briskly cracked open his own can of beer. Weak foam bubbled from the top. Cheers, Minarukawa. The Heaven Publishing's big debut. He cast everything aside and was striving for a new beginning. If the man had braced himself for the challenge, it wasn't Minarukawa's place to tell him he was making a mistake. Even if it wasn't an uphill battle, he had no chance of winning. Congrats, Mr. Toyama. Minarukawa pulled the tab on his beer can. Cheers. The two of them clacked their cans together.
The Asahi product placement.
1 year had passed since Toyama found Heaven Publishing. Minarukawa pulled his head into the eating office, a bag from the convenience store in hand. Hey boss, how's business? How does it look like it's doing? They must said amidst a veritable mountain of returned stock, his expression bleak. It's bleak. The books were all bulky, non-fiction tomes, not exactly that started to fly off the shelves. The man couldn't even muster a smile for their opinion. It's been like this for every non-fiction book we've put out. Well, starting right off with the bleak stuff, huh? Those things are bleak. The only thing I'm saying is this gospel of Regulars. Minarukawa pulled some beer cans from his bag, handing one to Toyama. Toyama looked at the issue of forced such new gossip on top of the desk. It was 7 publishings, one breadwinner, the one thing keeping the company afloat. But the gossips now seemed like it was a bird in the red of the publisher's non-fiction releases. I really did have higher aspirations on this, Toyama sighed, gazing in disappointment at the piles of unsold books. But here we are. Referring Gossip magazine is their only viable publication. He beleaguered the word bookseller chugged his beer. That day I'm hungry. And the cow started to hear a young child's voice. He turned around to see a little girl nestled between the sacks of returned stock. She's gaming. It's my daughter Hannah, Tiana said.
Child labor.
It's complicated, but she's staying with me now. I see. Tiana Cow couldn't press for more details with Hannah right there. In unlikelihood, things with Toriyama's ex-wife hadn't been going too well. Go on, introduce yourself, Toriyama said. He's one of Daddy's work friends. Hannah turned to Minoru with a bright little grin. Hello, my name is Hannah, I am 6. You want some of this? Minoru held out a packet of red squid he had brought to go with yours. Sure, Hannah greeted the soft cheeks of the squid. Toriyama flashed his sheepish grin. What is she doing? She's writing words, and making funny drawings. Toriyama flashed a sheepish grin. Do you like living with your daddy, Hannah? Minoru asked, giving the girl a gentle ruffle. I do. My daddy's amazing. He owns a company. Toriyama left out a sign and wanted herself with his daughter's praise. I'll keep at it, Toriyama said, looking into his daughter's frowning face. Hannah is more important to me than any aspirations I might have had. I'll keep shoveling out copies of the gossip, and at least make sure she's always got something good to eat. Daddy, this is really tasty. I hadn't held up to the polished red squid. Tears welled up in Toriyama's eyes. Next time, I'll make sure she has some sashimi instead of something like this. Hey, what do you mean something like this? Minoru grumbled. I'm the one who bought it. Toriyama and his daughter laughed together. It was a heartwarming sight. Minoru father and his girl were getting along so well. Toriyama might have been a hard-hitting journalist, but when he came home at the end of the day, he was just daddy. It was only natural for the man, as a father, to put his shoulder above anything else. Is he daddy energy? I don't know. After gorging her cell phone snacks, Hannah fell asleep on the sofa, looking well and truly satisfied. You don't mean to Hannah's happiness means more to me than my lofty artist. Best ideas ever could. Toriyama kept his voice low as he regarded his daughter's sleeping face. And from that day forward, the heaven polishing, and he shifted his focus to his candle bags. We forced our general gossip as its failure. Had that been for good or for ill? Whatever the case, Toriyama had abandoned his pride. Minoru had watched him become more and more of a miserable wretch. Minoru was affecting the present as a sheaf pages appeared in his front face. Here you go, Chiaki said, with anxiety. Right. Minoru gave her a close read of her, then thrust it back out to her. What did you even fix? He asked. Could you please tell me what parts are wrong? She mumbled, like hanging her head. What are you talking about? Just, well, we don't have a lot of time here, so I figure if I just fix the parts it needs fixing. Chiaki trailed off into an innocent mother. Did it always tell you about fixing a copy? Oh, yes. Then you're never going to get any better. If anyone tells you it's no good, you rewrite the whole thing from scratch. Just making fiddly tweaks here and there is what an amateur does. Jackie dipped her head even deeper, cringing at the reprimand, and let out a tiny sigh. Look, well, I just told you. That's what Toriyama told me when I was first starting out. There were times that he had me do dozens of rewrites. At first, I thought he was just pushing me around, but after writing things over and over, I realized something. There are a whole lot of ways you can write about the same thing, and that's what helped me hone my skills as a writer. Jackie raised her head back up. Oh wow, really? If you can go get that, then stick with it. I'll give your submission deadline as close as you have to in order to write the best piece you can. Okay, I can do it. I will do it. Finally, Jackie's face brightened with a smile. That's the spirit. A woman might have talent, but she hadn't realized it yet. She needed to be able to stick it to an assignment even when things get tough. If she didn't have that kind of resolve, she'd never make it as a freelancer. Oh, how touching. Ozu chimed in. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm almost moved to tears. They'll make a movie out of this for sure. See, we had only been acquainted with that sad side of Toriyama. Never knew there was such an upstanding fellow here who was so good at tough love. Norukawa shot to his feet and pounded his fist on the desk. That's about enough from the peanut gallery. Hold your tongue, Segawa snarled, his eyes shone with a vicious gleam. We're getting sick of wailing here. Segawa, you really are a short-tempered guy, aren't you? Ozu clicked disapprovingly at his underling and slid a sheet of paper onto Minorukawa's desk. Nevertheless, I'm afraid we do require a decision now. If you'll just stamp here, we'll be on our way. Drag set down the document. Is this a bond of recognizance? Yeah, that's right. That's what you write from transferring adapt. Segawa puffed himself up proudly. Minorukawa silently looked over the contract. If you don't have a stamp, we'll gladly accept the signature as well, as Ozu pointed out. This is bad, Segawa added. If you don't hurry up and sign, we're never gonna stop going off to challenge the other. Minorukawa snatched at the pen. Mr. Mino, you can't do this. Think about what you're doing, Jack shouted. If you go through with us, you'll just wind up like Mr. Motoyama. I won't. Yes, you will. Just who the hell do you think I am? I'm Mr. Nurukawa, damn it. I'm going to climb so many scoops to make your head spin. And I'm going to pay back the step and rebuild Heaven Publishing. But why would you take such a risk? Jack sobbed. Nurukawa lowered his voice. Because I owe him so much. I can't stand by and let these scumbags kill his daughter. Aha! From Nurukawa could sign Sagawa upside with an exclamation. Looking up, Nurukawa was talking with the lone sharks they had seen little Hana standing by the door. Get her! On it, boss. So I was doing Sagawa wished to go. Run, Nurukawa shouted. Hana bolted back out the door, but Ozu managed to snatch up her. Let's show up just as she reached the stairs. Let's be on our way, shall we? A violent grin came to Ozu's cruel face as he headed down the stairwell. Stop, let her go. Nurukawa rushed after them, trying to grab the girl, but Sagawa threw a punch right in his face. It's the bad ending. Oog. The pain stared at him. Nevertheless, he managed to press on. Get your hands off that girl. Shut your damn mouth. So they had a hard time distressed, his vision went dark. He kept slipping from consciousness. Okay, I'm sorry, Uncle Minorukawa. Sorry? No, I'm the one who should apologize. But before his thoughts got any further, Minorukawa passed out. It's over, bad ending. Bro, what could I have done against that?
Nothing. You predicted this would happen.
It was Kano's fault. I'm killing Kano.
Murdering him.
I've been reading so much.
Presents the bad end. Look at Chiaki presenting the bad end.
You're a bad end, sir.
The bad end you ordered, sir.
Could you read Kano for me?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you've been reading Minorukawa, so